from Moscow to Marine. 2.5 years it's taken for Dele Alli to go from a World Cup semi-final to being subbed in the FA Cup third round away to Marine, non-league Marine. So I just wonder where his head's at, because I don't think he'd have been too happy to be substituted. I think he wants to play as much as possible. But I thought listen, it's Marine. You'd expect a Premier League player to play well in those games, and he did play well. So I'm not sure. He could have been man of the match. He could have been absolute superstar yesterday. It wouldn't have changed Jose's mind on anything, would it?
No. He was fantastic. I thought he had a good game, Dele. And I was just amazed he was taken off because of his lack of game time. When you're talking about you want to get a player's fitness levels up, it was a perfect opportunity for him to play the full match, don't you think? In that situation. Plus, he was having a good game. He was creative. His passing, his footballing intelligence was there to see. He put a tackle in, rolled his sleeves up. I mean, people would have questioned whether he would have given his all in that sort of game for Mourinho, but I thought he did. He put himself in the window. And if there was anybody ever interested in him, there's a classic example. But it's so hard to judge him on that game because it was Marine. I mean, it was easy, wasn't it, for Tottenham? And that's what surprised me when Bale came on. Again, I think it was a player just trying to get him some minutes. And that's where I was surprised Dele Alli didn't play the full game. He needs minutes because, let's be honest about it, he's hardly played any this season for Tottenham.
Yeah, I mean, there's a story emerging that Harry Winks is being linked with Valencia. And it makes me wonder about these two players who in the past have been terrific for Tottenham Hotspur. Obviously haven't really featured much under Jose Mourinho. They're England internationals as well. And what I love about Harry Winks, he plays on the half turn. He's always looking to go forward. Okay, and I think that's terrific. That's what, a Premier League side who have ambitions to challenge and succeed and be trophy winning, they need a player like that in their midfield. They need to be going forward. They need to turn defence into attack quickly. They need a Harry Winks. So I admire what he brings. I can see what he brings. Jose clearly can't see what he brings. I look at Dele Alli, who can play on the half turn, can play little clever balls from a number 10 position. He can score goals as well at his peak. If you manage him correctly, if you coach him right and he's playing well, he will deliver you some real quality. So both Winks and Dele Alli are capable and have shown in the past that they can play with real quality on the ball, and yet Jose doesn't want them in his team. So it makes me wonder, what does he want, Jose Mourinho? If he doesn't want players who are good on the ball, who can pass the ball, who go forward, are they too good for Spurs, given the way that Jose Mourinho sets Spurs up, the way he wants Spurs to play? Are these players actually too talented? Are they too clever for the kind of basic way, albeit effective, but basic way Jose wants his Spurs to play?
Or he prefers to use that sort of player off the bench when he needs somebody to try and change the game if it's not going his way. I think it's quite obvious. He's quite conservative, Mourinho, the way he manages. And I think he would prefer powerful box-to-box runners in his midfield who work for the team and all that stuff. He doesn't want the player that can open up a defence. He's probably thinking and look at it and say, I've got Harry Kane who can do that. Harry Kane comes a little bit deeper. I've got the pace on the flanks with Son and Mora. They all swap over and interlink, don't do each other. They're brilliant at what they do, Tottenham. And if he's got the power, which is obviously something he prefers in midfield, and that's where Liverpool went down that line, although they're good on the ball as well, a couple of those players at Liverpool. But they are a very powerful midfield, and they used to overrun other midfields up and down the Premier League for the last 2 seasons. So he's probably seeing this, but it's important, but his team have that. And again, he's another manager who can't afford to have someone in his side who doesn't go back and forward and back and forward for 90 minutes. And it seems as though Arteta's doing it with Ozil. Might be other reasons involved there, but it seems as though Mourinho's doing it with Dele Alli as well.
Yeah, it's interesting with Dele Alli. And you talk about off the bench, and I get that. But for me, both Winks and Dele, they're not substitutes. Nope. These are guys who they have the quality to be playing week in, week out. So does it tell you that they just simply have to move clubs, and the sooner the better?
I think Dele's got to leave. absolutely. He's got an opportunity now. We've seen that with PSG and Pochettino, whether it's a loan move till the end of the season, and then he can give himself a proper little bit of breathing space to decide what he wants to do and step out of that bubble at Tottenham Hotspur. I don't think he's going to get enough game time to get anywhere near the England team. Surely, you've got to have that ambition. The way he burst onto the scene, the England caps he's still got to have that desire and that ambition to play for England at the Euros. And it's not happening for him. He's nowhere near the squad aid at this moment in time. But if he goes and bosses it somewhere else, Champions League, you know what I mean, different country, whatever it may be, he gives himself half a chance. At the minute, there's no chance.